Okay, so good afternoon, everyone out there in fintech world. It's Friday, about 4 o'clock. So that means in an hour is quitting time. It's TGIF time. Time to let our hair down. Which brings me to one of my favorite clients.
Who definitely let
Everyone,
his hair
he's always willing to let his hair down. Uh, so everyone, this is Tom DeRoyan. Tom, say hi to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
And listen, the reason we're doing this, Tom, and you may or may not have seen a couple of the other clients who we interviewed, but the reason we're doing this is because the world's opening up. It is time to inspire people. People have to know that they can look and feel great. Sometimes people forget what normal is like and what ideal is supposed to be. And so we want to use this opportunity to remind them. So my first question is, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Tom. I'm a single dad. I work for a construction company. I spend most of my day driving around in and out of New York, delivering equipment. I run cranes. I run equipment. I come home. I cook dinners. I do homework. You know, hang out with friends when I can. But just a regular. I guess just a regular working person.
Yeah. Now, Tom, what exactly was it that led you to come to our office?
I had tried uh, Wild Man, Caveman, you name the diet, I had tried it. I did NJ diet with some success. I needed someone to help motivate me to get back to where I was. When COVID hit, I started posting things online called COVID 50. I'm sorry, it's the 50 pounds I put on
Oh,
because
wow. You put on 50 pounds.
I put close to 50 pounds on during COVID because all I did was cook and eat and go out. And, when your child is kept in a house like a caged animal, you tend to take them out and do things. And a lot of times that was just going to like Taco Bell or taking her to McDonald's so she didn't have to eat at home. And after a while, that kind of catches up with you. So I kind of needed someone to kind of give me a little poke and give me some help and support so I could get to where I needed to be.
Got it. And so how would you describe your state of mind when you came to the office? Were you discouraged,
Oh, beat
angry?
up.
You were beaten up.
I was beat up. I was tired. I was unhappy. Uh, always tired because you have no energy when you're dragging around an extra 30 pounds of weight on you easily.
Sure.
So and I had nowhere to go with it. So I
And,
reached out and find someone who could help me.
right. And generally, Tom, when people come into our office, they come in because they're not happy with where they are, but they're also concerned about where they're going. Now,
To the grave is where I was going
yeah,
because my blood pressure was retarded. I'm on medicine for that, which I'd like to get off of. I got a 16-year-old daughter. I couldn't jog down to the end of the street without getting tired. The only place that ends you up is Arlington Park. I would prefer not to do. I'd like to be around for a little while.
right. And we'd like you to be around also for a little while.
Thank you.
You specifically. I mean, we would say that to some degree to everybody, but in
Mhm.
this case, we really mean it.
Thank you, Doc.
And we didn't mention this. This might have been one of the first things we were supposed to mention, but how much weight have you lost?
To date,
Yes.
I started at 274, and this morning I was at 229. So I've lost over 50 pounds.
You've lost over 50 pounds in how long?
It's been 60, not even 60 days.
Not even
Uh,
60 days, you've lost over 50 pounds.
my 61 day will be on Tuesday. It'll be my 3 week in phase 4. So it'll
Got it.
be Tuesday. Yeah.
It's amazing results. And obviously, everyone who does our program, who puts forth a pretty good effort, is going to lose weight. They're going to do well, but there are levels. So what do you think was the key for you to do as well as you did?
I think with the weekly weigh-ins, the fact that every morning when I texted someone, I got a response. People would check in to see how I was doing. The program is very simple to follow. If it's laid out for you in black and white. All you have to do is follow the steps, take the supplements, and it pretty much works for you. I mean, there's a lot of support system. If you have a question and you text the doctor, or you text one of the ladies in the office, within, I don't know, half hour, you get a response. So you're not left out on that island all by yourself, because there's someone always there to back you up. And that's very helpful. It's how I lost the 60 pounds, 50 pounds.
Is that different than the experiences you've had from all the other programs that you've done?
Yeah, even when I did the last 40-day with NJ Diet, your weigh-in was once a month. Um, there wasn't that level of personability that I have. Like when I go in this office, people know my name. People joke around with you. Like we
Yeah.
joke around when I come to the
You're
office.
like Norm when you
Yeah,
walk when he walks
exactly.
in
You
the
walk in,
theater.
everyone knows your
Yeah.
name, and we've come in there, and I get my weigh-ins, and they tell me what's going on. But beyond that, me and you have had personal conversations that had absolutely nothing to do with the diet.
Right.
I've had it with Boss Lady. I've had it with Jenny. There's not just it's not just about the diet. It's also about the person involved in the diet,
Yeah.
which is really nice. The last time I'm in the office, no one knew my name when I did the last diet. I went in, I weighed in, they handed me things, I left. Yeah, you're
Right.
doing great. All right, see you later. So
Yeah,
I mean,
and I know we've talked a lot about your daughter, and that's kind of your salient characteristic, is that you're a great dad, and that you really love and care enough about your daughter to be strict also.
sometimes
Right? So, what has she had to say to you about this weight loss?
she likes it. She says she goes like this. Half your head is gone, Dad. Look, half your head is gone. But yeah, she's very proud. She knows that some days I should eat more, and she
Isn't
stays
that
on
funny?
top of
That's
me.
one of the things I was yelling at you a lot on the program about, that you have to eat more.
I don't know what you're talking about, Doc. Yeah, but yeah, it's easy when it's easy to do, and she sees it. So she's not on the same diet I am. She's lost 15 pounds just because she sees that I can apply myself, and though I may do things in a little bit more strict manner than she does, she's 16. She has that flexibility, but she's gone ahead and corrected some of the things that she did, and she dropped 15 pounds in the last month and a half on her own.
I
Just
love that.
because.
It's one of the great ancillary benefits of the program, and we do see that over and over. I mean, ultimately, you're her influence, and not only that, but her example as well.
Well, lead by example is what we were always taught, right?
Well, but all too often it's, do what I say, not what I do.
Yeah, well, you got to have a little bit of both with child, stick and cookie.
Had she originated to you that she wanted to lose weight? Was this a goal of hers, or she was just being supportive of you?
A little bit of both, but as a 16-year-old, you want to lose the weight, but you still want to eat all the crap that you want to eat as a kid, which is,
Right.
and as an adult, I have the same thing. There are certain things that I love to eat. I could eat pizza every day. I could eat macaroni and cheese at every sitting, but at some point, you have to give up some of that in order to get to where you want to. So, in order for her to get where she wanted to, she didn't have to change all that much. Just little changes along the way helped her a lot. Now she understands that, yeah, you know what? I can have that burger without the fries. I can go have a lettuce wrap taco instead of having 8 tortilla shells. So there's little variations of the same food that she eats now that she really likes that have helped her get to where it is. Now those days when she doesn't want to and she wants to go to Cold Stone and have a Sunday, great. You worked hard enough. Treat yourself.
Yeah.
She's still allowed that carrot at the end, that little caveat.
But it's
So,
also, you have to be aware that you can lose weight, that there is a possibility that those actions are connected to a result.
well,
And
certainly.
so in this case, you got to be an example for her so she could see that it would work.
All it takes is a modicum of restraint and the
Just a
will to do
modicum,
it.
which is great because that's all most of us have.
Just a modicum, just a little bit. But if you can find that little bit of restraint, or you can find someone to give you motivation and direct you, it's always 10 times easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What for you has been the best part about losing this weight, process aside? I mean, in terms of how you feel or your clothes, what's been the best part for you?
just waking up and not having that extra weight just dragging around. You sit in the truck, and when you're overweight, everything scrunches together. It's uncomfortable. When you're trying to work outdoors and you're bending down to pick up stuff, your back hurts, your knees hurt, your shoulders hurt. A lot of that inflammation is just completely gone.
Yeah.
So where I still have work to do, my work that I have to do is I went from here to here. So I'm halfway through the process of where I want to be, but
Right.
I did it in such a way that it makes it easier for me because I had all that support. So I was just rolling through it, and I just continue to roll through it. It's
And
kind of
you mentioned
nice.
waking up. What were your mornings like for you 50 pounds ago? And how does that compare to
Groggy,
now?
very groggy, very groggy. Like it took a long time to get started, and once you're started, you're kind of sluggish for a long time. Now I get up and yeah, I'm a little tired. You know me, I don't sleep all that often, and I work crazy hours.
Right.
So yeah, I'm a little tired, but once I'm going, and I'm good to go. I got up this morning at 3 o'clock. I went to work. I came home early. I took my daughter to the doctor, and I'll go back to work tonight. I'm not tired at all. I had a cup of coffee. I'll eat a little dinner, and I'll go back to work. I'm perfectly fine. Tomorrow I'll sleep in a little bit. It's Saturday, but other than that, it's 10 times easier when you're not dragging that extra weight around.
Yeah.
Most certainly. Yeah,
Yeah.
most
Well,
certainly.
let's do a little quality control. We do this every time.
Okay.
So our mission is that we create happy, healthy, hopeful people who have achieved their ideal weight and have a renewed zest for life. So are you happier now than you were before the program began?
Most certainly.
Good. Can you put a percentage on it?
100%.
100%. Awesome.
100% much better than I was. Much
Great.
happier.
And are you healthier now than you were?
Oh, I'm 100% healthier. Um, I don't think I've eaten that many vegetables in my entire life. And
Uh,
considering I like vegetables, it never really bothered me. But you see, there's another way to, and I cooked for 20 years, so there is another way to cook and get the same flavor and do it a little bit more healthy. Which my dad's benefited. He's down 10 pounds. My daughter's down 15. So yeah, it's an all around win.
there's no extra charge for your dad and your daughter, by the way.
Okay.
Good.
Well, I put them
Uh,
in the video if I could charge you if you want to get them in the video.
I hope none of them are SAG members. So, are you more hopeful now than you were before?
Yeah, because I know that that if I want to keep going, if I want to do another round, all that support is still available to me. But yeah, I am hopeful that I can continue to do what I need to do because you hit a moment in your life where you're depressed a little bit or you're
Right.
tired, you just give up, and then someone's like, "Hey, you know what? You can do this. Here you go. Here's the tools. You can do it. You already have the tools. Here's the rest of them. Go ahead and finish up.
Right.
Do what
So
you got to do."
you definitely have an understanding that you're going to lose the weight that you want to lose. And
Most certainly.
how about in your attitudes towards life? Are you more hopeful towards life in general?
Yeah, because I have a kind of a new lease on. Like I walk around and not embarrassed about what I look like. I'm not as self-conscious. Like there's still work to be done. Yeah, of course there is. There's always, things to work on, but I'm not carrying around that poncho of a belly. So I'm not trying to hide it with something or, shying away from a conversation with some people because I'm uncomfortable with myself. I'm more comfortable in my skin, you
Yeah.
know.
And obviously other people are seeing it too, like your friend Frank, who has come in as well. And that's
Yeah.
awesome. Frank's going to do really well.
He's doing very well. I've talked to him actually a few times. He's called me to ask me, can I eat this? Can we do that? And he reaches out, which is great because that's there's plenty of people to talk to and there's plenty of support. So it's nice to see someone else, taking that. He saw me, he saw what I went through, he saw how much I lost, and he's like, I need to do that. So I have another friend up north who's talking to me about trying it too because he wants to shed about 30 pounds and he's having a hard time getting that motivation. So there's plenty of it out there to find.
And what would you say to anyone who's on the fence? A lot of times it happens with our program, just as it happens in life. There are things we know that we should do that would benefit us, but we just can't pull the trigger. So what would you say to somebody who's considering doing our program, but just can't get there?
It works. It works if you let it work. And if you never try, you'll never get there. So you can sit on the fence as long as you want, and you'll continue to have the same struggle you have every day. If you do something about it and you fail, then you've learned what you can't do, or you've learned how to do it better. If you don't do anything, then you haven't improved your situation. You're just going to stand there with one foot nailed to the ground, running in circles, which is, not going to get you where you ultimately want to be, which is healthier and happier. Um, Anyone can do it, and with support, more than not, you will be successful. I didn't cheat. I know people that do the diet and they have like a day where they fall off. I didn't, because I had a plan in mind and I had a place to go. And Doc and staff gave me all those tools to do it. And here I am. I'm sitting 50 pounds lighter in less than 60 days. Thanks, Doc.
And lastly, do you have a renewed zest for life? And if the answer is yes, how are you going to express that? What are you going to do?
Oh, well, I have a fear of heights. So I've always wanted to jump out of a plane just to see if I could beat the fear. I've flown a plane a couple times to see if I get over it. However, when you're 274 pounds, it's kind of hard to fit in the harness with the guy who's strapped to your back. And I went to a couple places and the guy said, well, we have to find special rigging and this and that. So part of it was because I want to get in that harness with that guy and jump in and feel comfortable. I like being able to go. I'm going on vacation, take my shirt off in public and walk around. I mean, be comfortable in my own skin, which is where I'm going. So I'm almost there.
Let me ask you a little bit more about this jumping out of a plane. When is this going to take place?
I actually have a friend who wants to do it at the end of the summer when it starts to cool off. Like September, October. He knows a place and he's jumped out of a plane before, and he knows I'm deathly afraid of heights. I've done bungee cording when I was younger, and the guy had to shove me off the balcony because I wasn't going off by myself. But it's one of those things. It's the challenge. Conquer the fear, conquer the weight. Conquer the things that are slowing me down, which was 50 pounds ago. So as I proceed to the next goal and beat the next challenge, you add another challenge. So there's no reward without the next obstacle. So
without jumping.
That's it. You got to jump. Actually, you have to take that leap of faith.
Yeah, Tom, I jumped out of a plane about 30 years ago, and I remember the night before I was at a party, and I was telling people I was going to do it. I was talking smack about it, and I did that purposely because I was afraid to jump out of the airplane, but I was talking so much I was afraid not to do it.
Well, that's
I don't want to be
Once
I don't want
you
to
get
be the
up
guy
there,
who said it and who wouldn't do it.
Well, my buddy told me once we go up there, you're only going out of the plane one way. He's like, you're not coming back down with the plane. You're going out the door, whether you like it or not. So,
so you're doing what I did. You're declaring it now in front of everybody that you are going to be jumping out of this plane.
Listen, I conquered my fear about losing weight, about getting healthier. I beat that part of my depression to get here. That's just another goal in the long list of goals that I have. So you take it one at a time, you bang them out, and pretty soon, you're starting a whole new bucket list.
Will you give us rights to that video when you jump out of this plane? I want to post it.
No.
Come on, I want to post it. What's so bad about it? You should
be want him to scream like a girl? Because that's probably what it sounds like. Yes, I would be more than happy to share that video with you.
Okay, that's going to be fantastic. That's a deal.
No problem.
All right, Tom. Listen, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Keep up the good work. We're going to help you stay on this path, and I will see you in the office.
I'll see you on Tuesday.
You got it.
Bye, everyone.